Hey everybody, what is going on? I hope you all are doing well today. Elliot here and welcome back to The Fragrance Well. So today we are going to focus on scent trails and more specifically, sexy scent trails. Listen, a great projecting fragrance is great for what it is, but in my opinion, it's hard to beat a scent that just leaves an awesome scent trail, especially one that has some sex appeal to it. And you know what? I've got 10 of them here today that I think do this very well, and they do it in a variety of ways. You can have a kind of fun, sexy scent trail, fun, maybe sweet, maybe a little bit yummy. You can have an alluring and kind of mysterious scent trail, kind of like dark and brooding kind of scent trail. It can be masculine in nature, it can be feminine in nature and have the same effect of being alluring and sexy. And you can also have ones that just simply smell good. They just have that it factor. Like I said, got 10 here today. I think they all give a variety of scent trails that have a sexy sillage, if you will. So let's go ahead and get started, get into them. But before we do, as always, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and please hit that bell icon and enable notifications so you can be notified when I upload new videos. Let's get into it. All right, let's get it started with one from the house of Lorenzo Pizzalia. This is going to be Sun-Gria. Lorenzo Pizzalia, Sun-Gria. This is one that is certainly giving a lot of praise to the house this year in particular. House is growing in popularity. I think that's great because I think this is a great fragrance house. So this one here, definitely gonna be more so on that fun and vibrant side, but also yummy as well. This is a play on a sangria. It does smell like a sangria, more so tropical fruitiness to it. I do think a sangria, you know, depending on what you put in it and what kind of wine you use with it, it can have a variety of different flavor profiles. You kind of got that white peach sangria, which is more the summer super sweet type, and then it can be all the way to using really bitter, dry red wine and like just tart citrus fruits, basically making it completely sour, and then everything in between. This is not white peach sangria, it's just more so maybe a sweeter red wine used with it, not quite as dry, and a lot of more tropical fruits, giving it a more fun and vibrant scene. And this one does have quite a bit of sweet notes with it as well. That's pretty much the best way to describe it. Don't really need to go into too much more detail, but man, sexy scent trail for sure on this, because I don't really find this one to be much of a projector anyway. And most of these, I think all the fragrances from the house are Extrait de Parfum, so some might have that projection, but I think most of them don't. All about the scent trail with this. Sexy for sure, fun, vibrant, and sexy kind of scent trail with this one. So that's the kind of vibe this one's gonna go for. I would say this one here is more of a casual, dressed down occasion in terms of what you might use this for. Once again, from the house of Lorenzo Pizzalia, this is Sun-Gria. All right, next one's coming from the house of Amouage. We have got King Blue here. Amouage King Blue. Now, those of you who are familiar with this scent, particularly the oud in this fragrance, might be looking at me like, are you serious, dude? Well, here's the thing. The oud that's in here, which I do believe is Indian oud, has a little bit of a barnyard smell to it. It's a little bit hay-like, but the thing about it is it settles after the fragrance starts to dry down, and you don't have to wait like forever for that to happen. Once it does, you get more of a slightly earthy but kind of resinous, kind of gooey kind of oud, and it's not as barnyardy, so to speak. There's a little bit of a spicy profile with this, a little bit resinous, and also really nice patchouli sandalwood combination in the dry down. And frankly, that's where the magic happens with this one in terms of that sexy scent trail. A little bit mysterious, not full-blown mysterious, but overall just kind of masculine in nature and just simply smells good. That same sandalwood patchouli combination, not exactly like this one, but that's used in other fragrances that have that same effect. It's a very good combination of notes or accords, if you will, that I think can just really give a fragrance a really nice sex appeal. This one here, more so, I would say casual and up. Now, I don't consider this, even though I would say this is a dressed down version of an oud fragrance, while it still has some, you know, pungent oud in it, but I wouldn't say it's a casual scent. I would say it's gonna work best if you're at least semi-casual, you know, like kind of business casual setting, and up in terms of formality. That's where I think this fragrance will work the best, but I think this has an awesome, sexy scent trail to it if you can look past the oud. If you can't look past the oud, then you know it's just not gonna be a good scent for you. Once again, from the house of Amouage, this is King Blue. All right, so we got another one from the house of Amouage, and this is Lyric Man. Amouage Lyric Man, completely different from King Blue. We're focusing on rose with this fragrance. I get a green rose with a little bit of jamminess to it. There's a little bit of a lime-like accord in here. I think there might be some ginger in this as well, giving a little bit of a pop to the scent. And at the base of it, incense, resins. There might be some myrrh in this, which I love myrrh. A little bit of sweetness, a little bit of vanillic of a sweetness mixing with that rose. And man, this stuff here, I will say this much. If you're not a really big rose fan, this might be a little tough for you, but this stuff here is amazing. Great scent trail, great longevity out of this fragrance. I think you can somewhat dress this one down, somewhat. But I would say it's probably similar to King Blue. Probably works best in kind of a business casual, semi-casual settings and up. And man, what a great scent trail this is. Type of scent trail this is. A little bit exotic and just simply smells good because, like I said, it does have that slightly vanillic / tonka bean kind of sweetness to it. That kind of stuff just simply smells good and can work for a variety of styles of fragrances, but it is a little exotic as well with that incense and the green nature of it, a little bit of that oriental feel. Amazing stuff right here. If you haven't tried this one, I would say check it out, especially if you are a fan of rose. I think this is one you just at least got to get your nose on. Once again, from the house of Amouage, this is Lyric Man. Moving on, got one from the house of Jean-Paul Gaultier. This is Male Elixir. Jean-Paul Gaultier Male Elixir. So this here, the mint and lavender, that is famous and synonymous with the original Le Male DNA. Lots of tonka bean, some benzoin. It's very rich and dense and heavy. Definitely the richest and densest and probably sweetest of that original Le Male DNA in terms of it being a flanker. This one right here is an amazing Sillage monster, but this one projects as well, so you kind of got to be careful with the sprays on this one. In my opinion, if you overspray this one, I think you're just gonna overwhelm people and it kind of loses that sexiness to it. I think the Sillage is what makes a fragrance sexy overall. So if they can smell you 10 feet before you even make it to them, you kind of lose a little bit of sex appeal with that. But also this one, definitely more so on the casual side, but you could dress it up as well. But this one's a little bit more easy to wear in a variety of situations, in my opinion, compared to the ones I've talked about so far. Also, I think I forgot to mention, Sun-Gria is completely casual. I wouldn't dress that fragrance up. I think it's a little too playful for that, but that's just my opinion. But great scent trail and sillage on this, and it smells amazing. Definitely has that sex appeal. Once again, from the house of Jean-Paul Gaultier, this is Male Elixir. All right, next one's coming from the house of Rosendo Mateu, and it's gonna be number 5. Rosendo Mateu, number 5. I'm sure many of you guys know about this one. Most popular one from the house, clearly. And I need to check out the new number 8. A lot of people are talking about that one. So this one, I literally just got my nose on the fragrance a long time ago just to discover the house, and I can immediately see why this one was the most popular. It is warranted. It tells you right on the front here what you're getting. Floral, amber, sensual, musk. That is 100% accurate. You got kind of some soft florals off the top of this, but for me, this one, it's all about the they call it sensual musk. I basically think white musk. That's pretty much what I get, just that clean kind of pillowy musk that you get from a softer musky fragrance where it's not trying to be animalic. And the amber in this, very vanillic in nature, very alluring, very sexy. That's what this fragrance is. It is 100% probably one of the best, just sexy sillage fragrances on the market. And trust me, I know there's plenty of them, but you cannot go wrong with this one. This one here is kind of just date night certified. Date night certified, 100%, where you just want a fragrance that has just got that it factor. That's pretty much what this is for me. It just smells good. I will say this much though, this one's 100% unisex in my opinion, so test it out. I know it's popular, but guys, test it out. I'm talking to the men here. Test this one out. You may think this may be a little bit too feminine for you, but for me, it's kind of 100% up and down the middle in terms of it being unisex. But it is very soft in nature, so this one definitely doesn't have that masculine feel, in my opinion. But also, a really nice kind of supple, leathery note with this fragrance. I think there's some saffron. It might be some saffron. That's the best thing I can think of. that might be giving that leatheriness to it, because it does have a slight spice to it. Once again, from the house of Rosendo Mateu, this is number 5. All right, next one's coming from the house of Mason Francis Kirk John. This is going to be Oud Satin Mood, the Extrait de Parfum. Mason Francis Kirk John, Oud Satin Mood, Extrait. So this one, I mean, is this really a surprise if I put this on this list? This one is just known for this. Now, this one is a powerful scent. Does have some push off the skin, so it's another one I think you can overspray, and if you overspray it, you lose some of the sexiness of the scent because you're just being obnoxious with it. You're taking away all the mystery of the scent. But if you're familiar with it, rose and oud fragrance here, very sweet, a little bit heavier on the rose than the oud in my opinion. Very jammy, very thick kind of rose feel, very syrupy in nature, a lot of vanilla in this, but man, does it smell masterful. I think this one, in my opinion, does lean a little bit more feminine than the eau de parfum. So if that's something that you don't really want out of that Oud Satin Mood DNA, stick with the eau de parfum. They're both just as powerful, so you don't have to really worry about that. This is just thicker and denser. Where would I place this? Kind of same thing, where I would say at least semi-business casual and above, but this one also kind of has that date night appeal or formal dress it up appeal where you really want to knock them over the head. Now, I'll be honest, you're not going to be that unique with this scent. This scent is a little bit well known. I've been to formal occasions and smelled other people wearing this, but it is still a great option and definitely has a sexy scent trail. There's no denying that. Once again, from the house of Mason Francis Kirk John, this is Oud Satin Mood Extrait. All right, next one's coming from the house of Louis Vuitton, and this is going to be Lovers. Louis Vuitton LV Lovers. All right, so this one right here is based off of some woods, clean blonde woods. Think cedarwood, sandalwood, little bit of a similarity to Le Labo Santal 33, but this is definitely its own thing. And when I say fresher iteration, you got a really nice ginger kind of feel in this, giving it some pop. There's some galbanum in this to give a little bit of a bitter green freshness to the scent, but the primary focus of this is going to be woods, cedarwood, sandalwood, given to you in a little bit of a fresh iteration. Not super heavy. Great sillage on this scent, definitely sexy. This one here, I would say it just smells good. I mean, this one does lean a little bit more masculine in my opinion though. I do believe they released it with the intent for men and women to wear it, but for me, this is a masculine scent profile, and the sillage, those woods, are gonna give a masculine, sexy sillage in my personal opinion. And the great thing about this scent in particular is there's no stipulation on when is the best time to use it. You can dress this one up, dress it down, casual, fun, business, whatever. You want a sexy scent trail, this fragrance will achieve it, doesn't matter the occasion. Use it to your will. Once again, from the house of Louis Vuitton, this is LV Lovers. All right, moving on, we got one from the house of Francesca Bianchi, and this is Sticky Fingers. Francesca Bianchi Sticky Fingers. Special shout out to this scent because it was this fragrance that inspired this video. I just put this on a couple of days ago simply because I hadn't worn it in a while and I wasn't really doing anything important. I just wanted to smell it on myself, and I was just reminded about how sexy this fragrance is because it is mysterious. Shout out to this house in general, or at least for what I've experienced so far. Francesca Bianchi uses very interesting note combinations, very strong note accords, but blends them masterfully in my opinion. This fragrance is mysterious. So what do you got here? You got a little bit of a spice. It's a leather fragrance overall, which is a little bit misleading in terms of the name because you see Sticky Fingers, you think like, oh, this is gonna be something that's like really sweet or whatever. It's not. There is sweetness in this, but this is not a sweet fragrance. It's leathery. It is a little bit spicy, has some resinous characteristics to it, and it's a little bit dark and brooding. This is why I say it's mysterious. This is like leather jacket vibes. And tying all these other elements together, there's got to be some orris butter in this. You get a little bit of this iris feel, but I think it's probably orris butter because it has a slight butteriness to it that just ties it all together. It really comes out once the fragrance dries down. It just makes this stuff smell insanely good. This is a grown man fragrance though, I will say this much. I think there's a little bit of an age stipulation on this. If you're really, really young, you can wear it, but I think it doesn't match a young kid's vibe. This is, like I said, this is a leather jacket, like 35 and up. And I just turned 35, so I'm even, basically I just graduated and became eligible for this scent. I'm joking. But anyway, yeah, this stuff is Very unique and mysterious. It's different, and that's why I had to include this one on the list, because it gives a different vibe compared to a lot of the stuff I've talked about so far, and mysteriousness can do sexy sillage very well in my opinion. Once again, from the house of Francesca Bianchi, this is Sticky Fingers. Alright, next one's coming from the house of Tiziana Terenzi. This is going to be Ursa. Tiziana Terenzi, Ursa. Alright, now first and foremost, this scent is not for everyone. I need to put that disclaimer out there, because this is one that, you know, depending on the sector of YouTube you're watching, people really hype this one up. I'm one of those guys, but it's not for everyone. I need to put that out there. Alright, so let's move on. This is a complex fragrance. Complexity, in my opinion, does not always lend to being a sexy sillage fragrance, and sometimes it just makes it complex. Complex doesn't always mean good, but I think this one achieves it. What do I get from this? You get dried fruits, dried fruitiness. You get a little bit of a booziness, kind of a rum-like accord. You get leather from this. You get woods from this. You get oud from this. You get resins, incense. Man, it's a complex fragrance, but boy, is it blended masterfully in my opinion, and it does have a sexy vibe to it. This is also mysterious, and you could say a little bit oriental, so just exotic as well, because it's different. You know, a lot of people are going to be wearing a scent like this. Interestingly enough, with this fragrance, I think you can dress this one up and dress it down. Just kind of depends on the occasion though. I wouldn't call this a fun fragrance, I will say that much, but I do think it could be at a casual occasion, as long as it's, you know, not too casual, not too loose, if you will. But I do think it probably shines a little bit better dressed up, so to speak. And also this one, if it's warm out, it gives a certain vibe, and if it's cold out, it gives a certain vibe. If you can stomach the complexity of this fragrance, I think this one is a great, powerful one that you can add to your arsenal. But again, please check this one out first. It is just not for everyone. Once again, from the house of Tiziana Terenzi, this is Ursa. Alright guys, and the final fragrance for this list is coming from the house of Tom Ford, and this is going to be Noir Extreme. Tom Ford, Noir Extreme. And look, shout out to the house of Tom Ford. I think many people would agree that Tom Ford is a house that does this category in general very, very well. They have plenty of scents that could go on a list like this. Matter of fact, you can make a whole list with just Tom Ford fragrances for this category. This is just one of the ones that does it very well. It's just one of the ones I picked. And also, I don't have that many Tom Ford fragrances. But anyway, oh man, date night special right here. You can use it for other stuff, but I think it just shines for that. Rose, spices, Coffee Accord, which is basically an Indian ice cream featuring pistachios and cardamom. I love that stuff, by the way, and it is represented well in this fragrance. Vanillic notes, tonka bean, dried sensual woods like sandalwood. Man, listen, this one just works. This is one of those ones that just simply smells good. It just has that it factor to make it have a sexy sillage. You know, it's marketed for men. Women could wear it. I don't know. To me, it's kind of masculine, but it maybe is teetering the line a little bit. But I think this stuff just smells amazing. Leaves in a great scent trail. It's not a loud projector, in my opinion, anyway. So the best way for people to experience it is going to be with your sillage, with the scent trail. And I think this one leaves a masterful scent trail that is sex personified in a bottle, in my opinion. Like I said, it just simply has that it factor. Once again, from the house of Tom Ford, this is Noir Extreme. Alright guys, that is gonna do it for this video. That was 10 fragrances that I think have a awesome, sexy scent trail within different varieties. So let me know down in the comments below if you've got fragrances that you think leave an awesome and sexy scent trail. Share some of them down in the comments below. Really looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say. And thanks again for watching all the way into the end. I really do appreciate you guys. Please remember to be well and smell well. And I'll see you in the next episode of The Fragrance Well. Have a good one.